Welcome back to our English class. But before that, let me share some scripture passage to feed our souls. It is found in the Old Testament. It is in the Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. It says that, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." So it says here that we as human beings, we are not in control in our destiny, but we can trust in the Lord because he is the supreme being. He is the creator of everything. And if we trust him, he will direct us. He will help us surpass anything that we may be facing in the future. And that's it. So let's continue our discussion. So our lesson for today is all about the prepositions. We all know that there are so many kinds of prepositions, like the preposition for time, for place, for direction, for agent, for instrument. But for today, we're just going to tackle about the preposition for place. Preposition of place. What is a preposition of place? A preposition of place is a preposition which is used to refer to a place where something or someone is located. Prepositions of place allow you to be very specific when talking about where action takes place in stories or when discussing important details for communication purposes. So the first preposition that we're going to discuss is in front of. So the example of that is, let me show some images. This one, the alcohol and a bar of soap. So this alcohol is in front of the camera, or this bar of soap is in front of the alcohol. Did you get it? The first one is in front of. So another example is, this is in front of me, or you are in front of me. The other one is, I am always in front of the camera. That's the first preposition of place. The second preposition is behind. Behind is in the opposite of in front of. It means at the back or part of something. So another one. So this alcohol and this bar of soap. So this alcohol is behind of the soap. Did you get it? So another example is, when the teacher writes on the board, her or his students are behind of him or her. Another example, who is that person behind the mask? The number 3 preposition of place, between. Between normally refers to something in the middle of two objects or things or places. For example, let me show you the object. So this alcohol and this baby powder and this soap. So the baby powder is between the alcohol and the soap. Another example is, the number 5 is between the number 4 and Number 6. And another example is, there's a space between you and me. Okay. So, number 4, preposition of place. So, it across from or opposite. Across from and opposite mean the same thing. It usually refers to something being in front of something else, but there is normally something between them, like a street or table. It is similar to saying that someone or a place is on the other side of something. For example, I live across from a supermarket. It is on the other side of the road. Another one. The chess players sat opposite each before they began their game. They are in front of each other and there is a table between them. Down to number 5. So the number 5 preposition of place is next to or beside. Next to and beside mean the same thing. It usually refers to a thing or person that is at the side of another thing. For example, this brown bear is beside this pink rabbit. Or another example, at a wedding, the bride stands next to the groom. Or guard stands next to the entrance of the bank. Number 6, preposition of place. Next or close to. Next and close to mean the same thing. It is similar to next to, beside, but there is more of a distance between the two things. For example, I am, as your teacher, is close to the door of our house. Another example is, we couldn't park the car close to the store. The next example is, our house is close to a supermarket. Another preposition of place is on. On means that something is in a position that is physically touching, covering, or attached to something. For example, this alcohol is on my hand. On my hands. Another example is, the clock on the wall is low. Another is, he put the food on the table. Number 8, above and over. Above and over have a similar meaning. The both mean at a higher position than X. But above normally refers to being directly, vertically above you. For example, planes normally fly above the clouds. We put a sun umbrella over the table so we wouldn't get so hot. Another example is, this snack is above the head of a bear. Over can also mean physically covering the surface of something and is often used with the word all is in all over. For example, another example is, I put powder all over in my face. Or another is, my face is covered with powder. Over is often used as a preposition of movement too. The last preposition is under and below. Under and below have a similar meaning. They mean at a lower level. Something is above it. For example, my pen fell under my table. Another example is, your legs are under the table. Another one is miners work below the surface of the earth. Sometimes we use underneath instead of under and beneath instead of below. There is no difference in meaning, those they are less common nowadays. So those are the 9 prepositions of place. So now let's review the 9 prepositions of place. The first one is the preposition of in front of, behind, between, across from and opposite, above and over, under and below, next to and beside, next and close to, on. So I hope you learned something today about the prepositions of place. I hope what you've learned today will inspire you to learn more about the prepositions to the other prepositions, and I hope that you won't forget about it and you will apply it in your daily lives. And that's for today. I'm your teacher, Bianca. See you tomorrow.